Hi everyone, today I'm going to be testing out the speed of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. This is the version after July, so it may have some extra features that the other versions may not have. I just wanted to add that as a disclaimer. So let's get started. So to get started, I guess we can start with the lock screen and how fast the facial recognition is. So it's using the camera here and another sensor up here, which is a blue sensor that basically projects it projects dots onto your face to make sure you have the right shape. So if you have a twin that may have a tiny difference of face than you, it will still not let them in. Of course, it's not like the Apple Face ID, because the Apple Face ID has many different sensors here that shoots millions of billions of dots onto your face. This shoots about, I think, 50 dots onto your face. That's why Face ID from Apple is definitely higher secure, and you're not going to get that on this budget tablet. Of course, it is more secure on the higher end Samsung devices, so you might want to look forward to that if you ever think you want to get one of these. Again, in Canada, right now I'm pretty sure they're around $370. I'll leave a link below of the cheapest ones I can find on Amazon, but basically right now there's a pretty good tablet. It's not budget. This is the mid-range tablet for Samsung, because the S lineup is the higher end, and then there is of course the Tab S's, which is like the S6, Tab S7. Those are the higher end models. But then, if you're looking for budget for Samsung, you should definitely go for Tab A. They have, that's like the budget side of Samsung, and they focus on giving you the greater value for your money. Of course, this is the mid-range. One downside is basically the older model of this would be the S5e. That one had the smart connectors on the bottom. This does not have that. This is just magnets all over the thing. It does support smart magnetic connection, but it's not much. Definitely those smart connectors are not here, and it's pretty obvious. You have none on the back, so you have no smart connectors on the back. It's just a plain tablet. That's what they were focusing for this. And also, like, if you think about it, if there are no smart connectors, does Samsung sell any keyboards? No, they do not. This is one of the Samsung Tab S's that does not support a Samsung keyboard. You can of course get a third-party keyboard, like something like this. And basically, I got this case for around $40, where this magnetically attaches right onto here. You can type, and it connects through Bluetooth. It is Bluetooth 3.0, so it's not the best, but it connects pretty quickly. You turn it on, it takes about 2 seconds to connect, but acts like it's OEM, because Android is pretty open source. Anybody can go in and add in their coding for it, and of course, they did for this. So you just plop it onto the case, turn it on, connect it in 2 seconds, and you can control it like an OEM Samsung keyboard. Also, if you have a Bluetooth mouse, you can also connect it, because it has Bluetooth 5.0 supporting 2 Bluetooth devices at the same time. So you can have 2 connected, like a Bluetooth mouse and this Bluetooth keyboard. But if you don't have a Bluetooth mouse, you can always get yourself one of these. They're pretty cheap. You can get them off Wish, you can get them off Amazon. This was free off of Wish. You only have to pay for shipping, and basically it goes into the USB-C port on the bottom of this tablet. You can plug it in and plug in whatever you want into there. See, it recognized it, and as soon as you plug in a mouse or anything, the cursor will come up, which I will show later on. And of course, like I just showed you, this supports USB-C. So we got up to 45 watts of charging, and that's pretty good, but it only comes with the 10-watt charger in the box, which is a pretty downside, because all the higher end ones are getting the 15-watt charger. So basically, I have a 45-watt USB-C charger, and it gives me that super charging capability, but because you don't have the Samsung one, it will not say super fast charging, it just says fast charging, and that's fine. But with its 7,040 milliamp hour battery, it keeps a pretty good charge. And because it is a TFT LCD display, it keeps the pretty good charge. It's not AMOLED, so it doesn't save the battery, but at the same time, it's not 120 Hz like the iPad Pro. But the later versions of the Tab S6 Lite, like the one I have here, has something called adaptive refresh rate. So basically, it changes a few settings at as soon as you're starting to use it to make it look like it's a higher refresh rate, like this. And basically, it's already on. So if you want to disable it, you have to turn on the remove animations, and that basically turns this off. But as you can see, it kind of does this where makes them blurry and scrolls through, making you look like it's a higher refresh rate. And the faster you scroll, the less it is. The slower you scroll, the more it does it. So it's pretty adaptive, just like it suggests. And also, the face recognition is one of the fastest I've seen. Just to give you a show here. As soon as I turn it on, and it's in the dark. It's under the little island thing. So if I actually move it into the light, just so you can see, the second it's on, it unlocks and it's ready for you to use the tablet, which is very good. On to the next test. So this is the S Pen. It comes with free of charge included in the box. Pretty much all Samsung's tablets that support S Pen get a free S Pen included in the box, just like this does. But the older Tab S5e does not support S Pen and does not come with one. So that's one of the downsides of the S5e, which everybody did not like. So Samsung included the S Pen with the Tab S6 Lite, which pretty seamlessly attaches right here like the iPad Pro. But one cool thing is there's a lot of magnets on this thing, so you can really make it look like an iPad. This isn't the best, but if you flip it, this is going to trigger some people, but basically you can make it look like an iPad Pro, but at the same time, this is the way to put it on. I've seen so many people put it on like this, and it hurts me. No, it doesn't even stay. Do not put it on like this, please. It's like this. Tip towards the microphone here. Right there, just like that, please. I really had to get that out of the way. A few specs of this. It has the Exynos 9611. I don't know why people keep saying it's the 9610. I'm pretty sure that was the earlier model. But of course, you can see here, it has 2 clusters of CPUs. There's a coprocessor and the main processor. The coprocessor is the 1.74 gigahertz, and the main processor is the 2.31 gigahertz. They work together to make an octa-core. If we come here, we can see they work together to make an octa-core processor. It comes with the GPU as a Mali G72. The display has a resolution of 2000 by 1200, and the display PPI is 225. It comes pre-installed with Android 10 and One UI 2.0, which you can then upgrade to 2.5. If we go ahead, I'm pretty sure I can get... do we have N22 on here? No, we do not. So let's actually, this is just to show you, it installs things pretty quickly, and you can see it opened the Google Play Store pretty quickly. So we're going to quickly get, just to show the information about it, you're about to see how quickly it can install something, and just like that, the processor keeps up. As you can see, depending on your Wi-Fi at the same time, but if you have an older device, it will download very slowly depending on the storage. But anyway, we're here. So it is the coprocessor is a Cortex, and basically, just to put this out, it is an ARM architecture. But the coprocessor is the ARM Cortex A53, and the main processor is the ARM Cortex A73, which is also known as the Exynos 9611. Basically, that is the processing and everything like that. If we go to this device, we can see it has, right there, do you see that? Exynos 9611. It has a RAM of 4 gigabytes, 3.6 gigabytes, which is available. The rest is being used by the system, which of course needs to be there, or else it can cause major problems. Anyway, you can see it is pre-installed with Android 10. The battery is, there's actually 2 things you can do with the battery. To protect it, you can, in settings, if you go into device care, and go into battery, if you go into charging, you can turn on protect battery, which will limit the battery to 85%, and it will not charge after that. It will basically tell it that it's at 100% and keep it from charging any further. The one downside is having this. It is limited to 85% of its battery, causing you to have less battery life, but it definitely protects the battery. Of course, we also have the fast charging, which is supported on here. And with the 55% and the protect battery, I'm still going to get 7 hours and 55 minutes, which is very impressive. And it's on regular power mode. If we set it to the power saving modes, we can get even more. Just to show you here. If we set it to medium power saving mode, we can get 9 hours and 53 minutes. If we set it to maximum power saving mode, we can get 1 day and 7 hours of battery life, which is insane. But of course, the more you open and the more higher power saving you set it to, it will slow down, and that won't be great. So we can do a little tiny speed test and see how it handles opening apps. As you can see, I have closed all the apps. Nothing is open here. We can start with, how about clock? Pretty quick. Of course, these animations do slow it down. So if you want it to get faster, you can reduce or remove the animations to make it snappier. But of course, I love that smooth transition between it. And of course, with the adaptive refresh rate, it becomes very smooth. And like the way everything works with One UI, it is incredible. This is an incredible machine for the price you can get it for. And of course, like, it's perfect for everything you might need. We can actually move on to testing out the S Pen. I know people are saying that it's not a good S Pen, it's cheap. This is for being free, so you can't compare this to the Apple Pen. So, that thing is like $100. The first gen. The second gen, I'm pretty sure, is like $130. That is way too much for a pen. This comes free, so you can't really compare it. It has a button right there. It doesn't need to charge either. But at the same time, bring it close to the screen, and you'll see the S Pen button comes up there, and you can see a little cursor pops up, and it knows it's near the display. The technology being put into a free pen, it out-achieves the Apple Pencil. But if we open up here, we can hit Create Note, which will make a note right here. But if we want, if you're in an app and you need to quickly make, a note, all you gotta do is keep it away from the display, hold down the button, and double tap it. Once you do that, it should make a note. There we go. It's not working all the time because, of course, no battery. So it's got to be timed perfectly. But basically, you get to make notes, and it works pretty well. So if we set it to pen here, the pressure sensitivity doesn't show itself in pen that much because you're just writing things. So like my chicken scratch is not the best, so ignore that. If we set it to calligraphy, this is where it shows. There's like me tapping lightly, and if I push harder, it may not show on camera, but if I go into Krita, this is a beta app, of course, but it works so well, and I'm so impressed with this. you can actually see the pressure sensitivity very, very well. And of course, it works pretty good too. So if we make a new file, we can actually see what it looks like. So if I just make a light writing here, you can see what it looks like. If I push harder, we get thicker lines. It has the pressure sensitivity and the angles too. So if we actually set this to calligraphy, the angles are pretty. So one bad thing is Krita is pretty new to it. You can see the lag, it's not great, but if we go into Samsung Notes, calligraphy, you can see how quickly it catches up to the S Pen. People are always saying it's not good, it's slow. Like right here, if I go into pen, also if you hold down the button it erases, but you can see how quickly it stays up with this batteryless pen. It's actually a latency of 9 milliseconds. That is the same latency as the $130 Apple Pencil 2nd Gen. Just think about it. Staying up pretty quickly, and it just out-achieves it. So, yeah. Let's move on to some games. This is where it will really start to slow down. One of the hardest games to run on this thing is, of course, Fortnite, which I can't even get to work. It just sometimes just crashes, so I'm not gonna try that out. This is the light speed version of PUBG, also known as the Chinese version. I can go into a match right now and show you how it works, and of course, the right settings for you to use to make it smooth, because it can lag pretty bad in this. So actually, let's see how quickly it loads up. Also, I'll also be showing some customizable things. So this volume rocker, which is from One UI 3.0. This thing is still running One UI 2.5, so I'll show you how to get that too. It's not the fastest, but for $370 Canadian, it's pretty good. I've seen worse. Definitely, I've seen worse. So it's keeping up to my expectations for the price point. You can see it's still pretty smooth, and it loads pretty quickly too for what it does. I can come back to this later. So the settings I recommend for graphics, set that to smooth and set that to the highest frame rate you want. These also make it a little bit more laggy, so I recommend keeping it on the default. Keep this off and keep this off. Do not touch these, and you should be pretty good. And just to show you what it's like, let's go into a tiny match where we can like move around freely, and I can show you the different graphics and how much it makes them slower. This thing in PUBG, it only supports up to HDR, and the frame rate does go down the higher you go on the graphics. In Fortnite, you can only get up to 30 FPS. If you stop moving in Fortnite, you get 30 FPS, but as soon as you start walking, it goes down to 8 FPS around there, which you don't, none of us like that. It's not good. But as you can see, it's pretty smooth. This is with the graphics I just shown you. It exceeds my expectations for this thing. So let's just quickly grab something here. Here, so I want to see, I'm going to start shooting, and then I'm going to let go of the scope and look around and see if I can make this lag. Keeping up, pretty good. Reloading, marking location at the same time. No problem. Let's try that again. Marks it, no problem while reloading, does not lag while doing that. I can be jumping and marking, and it won't lag. I've had devices where it will lag when it's doing that, and it's pretty cool the way this happens. The animations work really well. The walking animations with the gun moving around doesn't make it lag at all. But I'm just gonna go to a quieter place. So if we go into settings and I bring this up to HDR and that frame rate, you're about to see how much lag you're doing. Makes it look better, but as soon as I start walking, you can start to see it starts to lag a little bit. And if I start shooting, if I reload and I mark, it does lag a little bit at this higher graphics, but it's not bad. It's still pretty good. Most devices do lag a lot because this version of PUBG is pretty hard for it to be able to run, and the way it just sometimes lags, like swimming animation. No problem with this graphics. But of course, you might want to stay on this to get the best performance. And yeah. We can test out something else now. So for example, I just shown you the Chinese version. Let's try the real PUBG. I do not want Bigfoot right now, thank you. So regular PUBG does load up a little slower, but it's also because I'm actually running it off of a micro SD card. It's class 10, so I'm not slowing it down, chill. But of course it has that micro SD card expansion, which the iPads do not have. No. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the exact graphics I do in regular PUBG 2, and I'm gonna show you how they look. Fine, just leave me alone. I don't know why it keeps making sure I start that. They're doing New Year's celebrations right now, which is kind of cool. We're going into 2021. This video will probably be posted in 2021, wow. Anyway, in first person, I have the graphics set to smooth and extreme frame rate. You can go up to Ultra HD. You'll see when you hit Ultra HD, it'll say this option is not available. UHD, same thing, coming soon. But if we hit HDR, we can stay at Ultra, but I'm pretty sure it will lag terribly. Oh yeah, that is noticeable. I do not like that. Oh god. But you can see how laggy it becomes. Now, if we bring that back down and hit that frame rate up, you can see how much smoother it gets. But definitely, using this as a gaming device may not be the best choice, but you're gonna get pretty good stuff out of this. So let's try what we did last time. I'm going to set something up. Okay, so let's go. So you can definitely see it's not the best at regular PUBG. It does lag a little bit more than what you can get in the Chinese version. And of course, you're not gonna get as much performance as this. Don't expect that from it. It has the Exynos. It's not Snapdragon. It's not the Apple A chip. It's just the Samsung-made Exynos. It's the same chip from the Galaxy A51. So yeah, I don't expect much from it. But lighter games like Minecraft work flawlessly on this thing, which I will be showing very soon. As you can see, like, the game is making the whole thing lag, but as soon as I close it, everything works pretty fine. So let's try out Minecraft. Okay, please stop. Go away, please. Thank you. Let's see what we can do here. As you can see up here, there's the FPS. Even in the loading screen, many devices lag in loading screens, which I don't really understand. But this device is keeping around 55 to 60 FPS. But now that we are in the game, you can see it works pretty well. And of course, you can do everything here. And here is where that keyboard comes in handy. So if we put this on here, I'm gonna quickly set this up. So we're gonna turn on Bluetooth there, and then we're going to set these up again. So what you want to do is turn it on, hit connect, and then it should pop up. If you have this connected before, you can tap on it and it will probably connect really quickly. It's because I had this connected to another device, it's taking a little longer, but of course you got to, okay, it didn't work the first time. There we go. And we're connected. Now, here's where this thing comes in handy. So, I have a wired mouse right here, which works well with this. So, what we want to do is you want to grab the adapter, grab this, put it in the right way, like that, and then plug it into the tablet. And it should pretty much recognize it and give it power, like you're seeing here. And that little cursor comes up, which you can hit this. And you can see it is definitely doing that. One downside is you gotta have to hold down the left one for it to look around. Otherwise, it's just for pressing these guys, because of course it's that. But one thing we can do to see if this works. Like, this doesn't work. It literally thinks it's touch. Oh god, I'm not used to this, please. Oh no, I hate this. Okay, UI profile, classic. Keyboard and mouse. Does it not recognize it or something? Maybe this will work. So, no, you can't really get that out of this, but you can get it to, like, try to work like PC, but of course you can't get that out of this thing. It's not supported, and of course it's very laggy for the keyboard since it's Bluetooth 3.0. But if you're playing it as a tablet, it works really well. It doesn't lag that much. And yeah, see, it's lagging because I have these two connected at the same time. So if I do remove these and turn this off, you can see the FPS spike up. And it's because of those devices. And if we go into here, here's a few settings you can alter to make it even smoother. I'm on the beta, so it's not as smooth as the stable version, but this should help you anyways. So go into video, scroll all the way down, and hit render distance all the way down. You don't really need it to be high, but it definitely makes it smoother. Like you can see here, it's like installing Optifine. You can see it's staying around, but as soon as I came into the village and everything's walking around, it kind of frame dropped, but it's staying around 50 right now, which is not bad. Okay, let's move on to something else. So, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, Call of Duty is really optimized on this thing. It is, like, made for it. It is so smooth. It was very surprising to me. And, like, a few more things I can show you later on is there's an app that Samsung made that improves the performance of your tablet. It's called Performance. I have to check. I don't want to say it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like Performance Plus. And basically, you can optimize the games. But of course, Call of Duty works really good on this thing. It is so good. And of course, it is Android. So if you ever need to like play, if you have an Xbox, you can play remotely by connecting your Xbox controller through Bluetooth to the tablet, and then remote controlling it, or even playing with the cloud with Xbox Game Pass. If you have a PlayStation, of course, you can use the I think I'm an Xbox user, so I don't know, but I think it's the PlayStation Remote app or something. But you can basically use that for your PlayStation. But for Xbox, it's pretty much actually like built in. The second you connect your Xbox controller, it'll pop up saying, this controller can be used with this app, and it will pop up, and you can basically use that for it. I think this is a new thing for everybody, but we'll see soon. So let's try playing a game mode. I'm gonna play a round. We can test it out. So let's just play the new game mode. I do not like this gun at all. I do not like AK-47 in this game. It's just not accurate. Okay, so let's go in. Seems like no one's playing it anymore. Yeah, it looks like no one's playing anymore. Let me try the regular. Yeah, no one's playing that one anymore. Instant. Okay, so what I have right now the settings on, it's low graphics and high frame rate. It's how I get the best performance on any game. But these graphics are still pretty cool. They look pretty good, and I do recommend them, but yeah. So Call of Duty now actually supports controllers, so if you actually want to play with controller, you can easily do that.
Enemy contact. Friendly Predator missile inbound. Lost the lead.
So you can see how smooth this thing is in Call of Duty, which very surprised me. For a second I thought I was playing on an iPad Pro, because this looks so high refresh rate, and it was very surprising to me. It's hard with this camera in the way, so I'm not in my best gaming mode right now.
The enemy is jamming our radar. UAV online. Contact with enemy. Objective almost complete. Keep it up. Destroy enemy's counter UAV.
I used to have a matte screen protector on this thing, but it also made my S Pen nibs wear out quicker, so I got a tempered glass screen protector instead. That's what I have on here right now. It's not like wearing out the nibs of the S Pen as quick, so I recommend like getting a tempered glass screen protector, because it's really hard to actually replace the S Pen nib. Whenever I want to do it when it's worn out, it is so hard to get this thing out. You just want to avoid it. Where was that from? Oh, he's up there. Shotguns are not good for far range. and you can see how smooth it is. You can see usually my other devices, like the older ones I used to have, like budget ones, they would lag at that victory point. You can see at slow-mo, it is smooth and very surprising. It's just Samsung is like, there's a lot going for them right now, and of course, like, it's easier for them to make cheaper products. Like Apple, where everything is so expensive. Everyone asks me, why didn't I get an iPad? I say, I don't have $1,200. So yeah, basically, that's gaming on it. It's pretty smooth. The thing itself is actually pretty smooth, which was very good. You would definitely want that from a tablet. One other thing we can do. So I'm going to show you how to basically speed it up in games. So what you want to do is you want to go to the Galaxy Store. And you want to go into the search and put in performance. Hit search. And never mind. So I gotta find it. What happened? Oh yeah, now I remember. So you gotta go to the Galaxy Store and search up game plugins. So let me do that really quick. Not game plugins right there. And you want to install that. So this is basically what will improve it. So what you want to do, yeah, there it is. So all these will pop up. You're going to want to hit Game Booster Plus and install it. And then once it's installed, you're going to go in here. It's going to set it up for the first time, but for me, it's already set up, so it'll just load. So once we go in here, we can actually see, so like PUBG is on maximum FPS mode. So basically, it focuses on keeping the temperature low and keeping the FPS at a max. So that compromises the graphics quality and of course does not save the battery. So you're gonna want to plug in the charger if you want your battery to last. As you saw, I've been playing many different games and I haven't lost much charge. So we've lost 10% this whole video, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so basically it also here, it shows you statistics, so how the FPS happens. So you can see there are times where the frames will drop, but it will try its best to keep them up. And the graphics is this other green line, so it's keeping them on the low, but the CPU is trying to keep it, it's overclocking the CPU to keep it at a high FPS. And of course, PUBG only used 1% in that 20 minutes that I've been testing it with. So that's pretty good. Again, I also tested the Chinese version for 20 minutes, and it lost 2%. But we had a lot of frame drops in this because this game is heavy duty, and of course the graphics are freaking out here. The CPU, these 2 points, it pretty much flattened out, trying to keep itself up, but then it overclocked it again and kept it going. But of course, you want to set, when you're setting it up, make sure you hit max FPS and hit it to apply to all games. And this will basically apply it to all of your games and keep them all at a maximum FPS. Don't worry, this will not damage your tablet. Also, what you want to get, I don't use it, but PerfZ will give you information about this is what it looks like when it's setting it up for the first time. But basically you can skip it and it will just keep doing it later on. You're gonna have to hit settings and hit allow permission and scroll back. And yeah, so you can see it will show your FPS, your CPU usage, your GPU usage, and the temperature. You can choose your units, and basically a small pop-up will come up on either side of the screen and give you some information about what's going on. For me, it makes it lag, so I just have it off. I'm probably going to compare this tablet to another device that I used to have and do a lot of videos on. But for now, one thing that this thing is great at is it's an ARM CPU. So It's great for editing videos. I edit most of my videos on this thing. And it can edit on 4K, no problem. 4K 60 FPS, no problem. 1080p 120 FPS, no problem. It does not fear to keep its performance up. And like the best app I found to edit on this thing is of course Filmmaker. You can also get the pro version to get that like 4K, but this is basically it. You can search up Filmmaker and it will come up. There are in-app purchases, but basically you can edit your videos in here, and basically it supports up to so if I add some random video I took earlier on, and basically it will give you frame by frame editing, which is pretty cool. So if you tap and hold on the video, it will give you the access to like mess around with everything. You have access to all these editing, and once you're done and you hit that export button, so I recorded that video at 1080p. Okay, so it's giving me up to 1080p of resolution. We can keep it on high quality, and yeah, basically. But if your video was recorded at a higher resolution, this app can go up to 4K at 60 FPS, which is pretty good, and you're gonna get that resolution. So yeah, basically it's pretty easy to edit on this thing. It doesn't lag, so that's not a problem for it. No problems. And yes, in overall, it's a pretty good tablet. If you're looking for a mid-range tablet and you don't want to spend too much, you don't want like insane performance, this is a pretty good tablet to go for. I'm pretty sure there'll be another mid-range tablet coming up this year, because Tab S7 is now out. I'm predicting it might be a Tab S7 Lite, but basically we will see. So, like I was talking with earlier, if you have Xbox Game Pass and you have an Xbox, you can install the Xbox Game Pass app, which basically gives you access to cloud gaming. So there are some games that support like touch gaming, so you can like play with touch just like on the tablet, but some games don't. So what you're gonna need to do is have a wireless controller, or like I said with this adapter, you can also use your wired controller, but some controls may not work. It's not optimized for that. But for example, if we go into play with touch, Minecraft Dungeons is probably like the best game here that supports touch. So we can quickly get into this. So just come here, you can hit play, and it will launch it. It is still in beta, so there might be some bugs, but it's no problem. You can easily share your feedback, and Xbox will be on it to remove any bugs or glitches soon. Depending on your Wi-Fi speed, this will take the time of loading may vary, but so yeah, but normally it does take a while to load, so I'm just gonna skip forward. This might be a bug, it may not be a bug, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be loading. So the thing is here, but the game isn't seeming. So here you see this, you hit VBack, and you tell them what's going on. You can hit report a problem, include the screenshot, and basically, yeah, it will basically help you with that. And of course, so you can see it was disconnected. So I'm going to try again and see if I can get this to work. Fingers crossed we can get it to work this time. Okay. So we can hit this button, and basically you can turn on basic controls, and your thing will come up. So you can hit any button, and then choose your account. And like I said, you have to have Game Pass Ultimate for you to be able to play these. But basically, if I'm going to make an offline game, and you also need an internet connection for this to work. It's not on your device at all. It's just you're streaming the game. So yeah, you're going to have a good internet connection. As you can see, we are in. It may be a little laggy at first, but it'll smooth out soon. You can definitely see you can easily do a lot of things. And it's pretty easy to do everything here. It kind of like shows everything. It's optimized for mobile gaming, but of course if you have that controller, you can easily control it like normally. So yeah, I'm probably gonna make a few more videos on this tablet, like how to have that customized volume animations. You can also customize this S Pen animation. So basically, the menu that comes up, you can customize that too. You can basically customize almost anything on this thing. You can put like many things on this tablet, and it will probably work pretty fine, and I'll make more videos on this.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you